What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode here on Above Average. If you're new to the channel, thanks for clicking on this video. I really appreciate it. Holy crap. Wow, what a series this has been. If you're clicking on this video, obviously I'm just going to give my initial thoughts on, the series as a whole, how it's been thus far, what I've liked, what I haven't liked. Highlighting, the pros and cons from both teams. So if you're new to the channel, stick around. I really appreciate it. Drop a comment down below. The question of the video is, who do you think will win Game 7? The series has gone 7 games. I am very surprised by that. Honestly, I thought the Vancouver Canucks were winning it yesterday. I really did. Just the way they played in Game 5, I was like, holy crap. They absolutely dominated that game. But for the first time in this series, the Oilers, They look like a really good team. That you ask anyone who covers the Oilers. I do cover the Oilers, obviously, and that was kind of what I got so used to seeing near the end of the season. Leon Draisaitl has just been an absolute beast for the Edmonton Oilers, and they opened the floodgates. They might have finally got a read on Artur Shilovs, who we'll get into a little bit later. I want to highlight him because he's just been an absolute stud. But yeah, who do you think will win the series? Game 7, it's tomorrow. It's going to be it has been a great series, and it should be a good game. I'm not expecting it to be another open game like it was yesterday, but Brock Besser is out, so we'll get into that as well. However, if you're an Oilers fan, you definitely got to like the fact that a lot of these guys have been there recently. It was do or die for the Oilers last night, and they came out on top. 2 years ago, it was do or die in a Game 7. Connor McDavid, probably the best game I've ever seen him play against the LA Kings. I think they won that one 2-0. Not a very high scoring game, but yeah, that was McDavid, vintage McDavid. That's just a core memory. Speaking of core memories, how about Evander Kane's goal last night? I can confidently say that was probably one of the coolest things. It's so fitting. I'll just roll it. Yeah, I mean, if you're an Oilers fan, how can you not like that? Like, it's been awesome. I love that. It looks like Dylan Holloway, Evander Kane, and Leon Draisaitl finally got some chemistry. The Oilers have finally got a second line that looks like to be clicking, which is nice. That's good for the Oilers because, as we've seen, they, for a long part, and even right now, you look at the stats, it's the usual suspects. But splitting Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, that's huge. They were logging in like 30 minutes in Game 2 and 3, which is just ridiculous, right? You're not gonna go far in the playoffs. So those guys are going to be hella tired. So it's nice. They're spreading the wealth, but I really like that line. And if the Oilers, look, if it's no secret, if they want to win, they're going to need that line to be as good as it was. I don't know. This video is kind of all over the place. I just wanted to highlight some of my favorite moments of it so far. You got to give credit to JT Miller. I've talked about this before. He's been an absolute stud, and what a steal of a deal that contract is, and just the trade. I was looking at it, what they acquired and what they gave away to get JT Miller. This guy was a 50-point player before he joined the Canucks, and his first 100-point season this year. He has a 99-point season a few years ago, so he hasn't won the Selke, but I wouldn't be surprised going forward if he is in contention to win the Selke, just the way he's been able to shut down Connor McDavid. That's not an easy task. I know in the last few years, you talk about Phillip Danault, the Oilers have faced the Los Angeles Kings, and Phillip Danault was kind of the guy. They're like, oh, he's a really good defensive center, and I mean, McDavid made light work of him. You can't say the same for JT Miller. That guy's, when Team USA goes to the Olympics, I would not be surprised if he doesn't have a letter like he should. And he's been the driver. You could honestly say he's been the driving force of the Vancouver Canucks. I don't think that's the hot take, a bold take at all. This Canucks team, I really think, could be over the top if Elias Pettersson, and I said this in my last video, but it's like, I don't know if some players, they show up in the playoffs. Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, they've been showing up. And I know Canucks fans were like, oh, where's McDavid? He didn't get he's still like second. He's second in league scoring right now in the playoffs. And Canucks fans were just all up, like, wow, we were able to shut down McDavid and all that. Like, he's still second in league scoring right now. Like, he's having a hella series. He's having a hella playoffs. So yeah, that's great that the Vancouver Canucks were able to shut him down for the 2 games there. But I mean, he's still just absolutely crushing it, and people are saying that he's been a no-show. It's like, Have you seen Elias Pettersson? I haven't. Where is he? Yeah, so from fans, I see both sides. This has just been an amazing series. I know a lot of people were saying it's a classic, and I guess it will be. We're watching history. It'll be something I'll be looking back at, and you don't realize it in the now, right? It's something like 20 years from now, my kid's going to be like, oh, Dad, like, whoa, what was that Oilers-Canucks series like? I'm going to be like, let me tell you what it was like. Shelovs turns out, like, of course, the Vancouver Canucks have always seemed to have very good luck when it's come to goaltending. Obviously, you got Bobby Lou, and then it was Schneider, and then they got the end of Miller. But now you're getting Thatcher Demko. They had Markstrom. That's like a luxury, you know, being an Oilers fan growing up and covering the Oilers now. I watched Devin Dubnyk when I was growing up. He was pretty good. Happy Bulin was okay for a little bit. Nicholas Deslauriers, Richard Bachman, Ben Scrivens, Victor Foss. Like that's what I was dealing with growing up. So obviously you got McDavid and Draisaitl now, which is argued to the hardest thing to find in hockey is like a bona fide true number one center. But I argue that. I've never seen a legit Oilers goaltender, and that's been a lot of talk of this series is the goaltending for the Oilers. Calvin Pickard, Stuart Skinner. Skinner looked okay last game, but he didn't really have to play incredible, in my opinion. Led in 1 goal. His numbers were good, but there wasn't really any grade A scoring chances. I think the Oilers did a really good job at just playing in front of Skinner, and that's, I think, been the common theme all season long, and I'm not hating on Skinner. I'm really not. It's just when the team plays great in front of him, he has great numbers. When the team doesn't play good in front of him, he has bad numbers. He's never gonna, I think like one game this season, I was like, okay, he probably won you a game. Even the shutout that he got in the first series against the LA Kings, game 4, I thought the team played exceptionally well in front of him. And that night, everyone's like, Stuart Skinner was just tremendous. Like, I think he was okay. He's just been okay. I'm sorry. He's not making the saves like Shelovs is. And what was that, game 3? Like, the Oilers had so many good chances, and he won that game for him. I think the Oilers outshot the Canucks that game like 40-something to like 20. Yeah, Shelovs is an absolute stud. So if you're a Canucks fan, you got to be happy. There's definitely some things. It's worth being noted, though. Brock Besser, he's out. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. He's been an integral part of this organization, especially in the playoffs. This was a really good year for him, so it's tough. That's a huge loss. I love Brock Besser. I think he's a stud. I don't know. I've been wrong about every single game this series. I thought the Canucks were gonna just steamroll the Oilers yesterday. That wasn't the case. That was the first time the Oilers actually were able to put a significant amount of goals past Shelovs, and it was the first time in I think it was like 10 or 9 games since the Canucks have had a difference between a 1-goal deficit in the game, which is also just crazy, and credit to them for doing that. Zadorov, the Tyler Myers, like the big guys have showed up on the back end. I will give them that. But it's crazy. I just had to give my thoughts on this video. I'm dropping a video. I'm working on it right now. Leon Draisaitl, guys, this guy is 3rd all-time, 3rd fastest player in hockey history. The whole history, there's like 8,000 players that have ever played the game, dating back to like 1917. And Leon Draisaitl was able to reach 100 points in the playoffs. He was the 3rd fastest player to ever do it. That's incredible. So obviously I'm going to talk about him, and just you have that to look forward to. The whole Matthews is better than Draisaitl. No, you can't even say those guys at the same breath until Matthews does anything of significance in the playoffs. And I'm sorry, people are going to be like, Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid haven't won anything. Well, they show up. They actually show up in the playoffs. Like, Leon Draisaitl, it's crazy in saying this, but Leon Draisaitl is probably the best player in the world right now. And he's probably a better player. He's the best player on the Oilers right now. And that says a lot when you've got the most skilled player to ever play the game on your team right now in 97. So I'm going to be dropping that video. You can look forward to watching that, guys. But if you're new to the channel, if you're an Oilers fan, this is sick. Like, this is great. This is why I moved to Edmonton, stuff like this. Just the vibes are electric in the city, and they lived to fight another day yesterday, which I'm very surprised about. So drop a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, thanks for clicking on this video. Leave a like. The support really does go a long way. Drop a comment. I do read every single comment. So if you're new to the channel, who will win this series in Game 7? Drop your predictions. Who's going to score? Everything. I want to hear it. Has this series been as good as you expected? Let me hear it, please. I seriously encourage the comment section. Okay, that's all I got for this video, guys. Take her easy. Yeah, and either the next time you'll see me, I'll be really happy or really mad. So look forward to watching that, guys. You guys are absolutely crushing it. Thanks for all the continued support. Don't be average when you can be above average. Peace.